The definition of being a groomer is gaining a child's trust and wanting control over them just to commit sexual abuse to them later down the line, mostly found in minors, but adults can commit this crime too. While being a pedophile is a disease that is found in adults, which makes them attracted to children. I don't really know how to start this video off, other than saying that some people can say the most vicious, vile, and disgusting things about someone online and accuse them of something they didn't all necessarily do. People have been accusing me of being a groomer and slasher pedophile, when that is by far the case. This is what people have been accusing me of for the past 3-4 years now, and I'm just done with the entire thing, and same with a lot of people as well. Let me start by talking about the elephant in the room, Kenny. Kenny and I were friends in 2021 and became partners late 2022. By the time that we were dating, I was under the impression that he was 14 or 15, thinking our age gap was only a year or two apart. The sole reason why I had thought that is because him and many of his friends at the time told me that he was 15 and it was all right to pursue a relationship with him. This assumption went on until March 26, 2023. Someone who I will name Blue asked me how old was Kenny, and because I was under an impression, I asked Kenny anyways thinking he'd say 15, but he ended up saying he was 13. I have no idea why this information was kept from me by anyone, but it reluctantly was. I tell Blue that Kenny was 13, and because at the time a 3-year age gap online was considered gray area. Nobody thought anything of it until Blue took an out-of-context screenshot of a joke I used to and still make, and say I was a pedophile because of it. Big reminder is that I was 16 when this all went down, and it was 3 weeks away from my 17th birthday. Some people that I was friends with decided to distance themselves away from me until Kenny and I broke up after finding this out, but they said I was not entirely at fault. I thought that was the end of it until I found out that Blue blocked me and was continuing to spread the out-of-context screenshot. I had a personal vendetta against Blue at this point, but I had no idea as to how to contact him, as he had me blocked. I went to one of my friends, who I will name Yellow, and ranted about it. I told them how old Kenny was, and how old I was, and they said it isn't illegal in both Canada and the US, but I should end it when I turn 18. I told them that I asked Kenny if he felt groomed, to which he said no to. I told Kenny that it was entirely his decision to be together or not, which he said he wanted to still be in the relationship with me. Kenny, outside of my family and friends, was the only person who genuinely loved me for me and supported what I did and how I went about it. Kenny and I made a few people's sanities deteriorate by jokingly calling each other things to piss them off. Whenever Kenny made sexual jokes towards me, whether that be in DMs or not, I would shut them down as it was only a few months into the relationship, and I wasn't ready for all of that. When Kenny and I started dating, I never once forced him to do anything he didn't want to do. And the only thing that I forced him to do was match PFPs until he broke up with me a few days after putting it on. I have never sent him any nudes of myself. The only closest thing I sent to him was me shirtless after a shower because I worked out. And even then, it only showed my collarbone, nothing else. Why I didn't break up with him is because I thought that I'd lose the only person outside of my family and friends who actually loved me. I let the decisions be his call, not mine. I don't know what Kenny felt during our relationship, but he could have told me that he didn't want to be together anymore. And he could have communicated with me, saying that he felt pressured, but he didn't say a word. In August of 2023 is where Kenny told me he wanted to break up because he wanted a relationship in real life. Of course, I was sad, but at the same time, I understood what he wanted. I didn't argue with him. I didn't cry my way for him to stay. I let him go. December 29th, 2023 is when Kenny and I were still friends and still on good terms despite everything. However, he responded to my "egg furry is like my kryptonite, I'm Superman" comment, and he replies with and quickly deletes "I'm Lois." Yellow, who I mentioned, told me not to get back with him again because he wanted something in real life, and they didn't want me to get harasses like I did again. I agreed with them, and I wasn't attracted to Kenny anymore and was attracted to someone else who is my age. This all was said and over with in the span of a year, and I thought I was fine, but that wasn't the case in late 2024 to now in 2025. Please note that I didn't break Canadian laws, US laws, and I did not break the Romeo and Juliet law.
Next thing I want to talk about is the We Are Jolly Kirk group chat. This group chat was to confront me about grooming Kenny and being a pedophile. Nobody in this group chat was taking the situation seriously, but someone by the name of Rio. But even then, they sounded like a 1939 Joker in mine, and many others' opinions. If you're going to make a group chat, don't make it unserious, as it makes you look even more terrible. The group chat was created by Needle, a lyricist in the Friday Night Funkin' community. I originally asked him why he made a Twitter post exposing how I deactivated my Twitter accounts. He replies with, "Add me," in which I reluctantly did because I thought it was about trusting one another to tell the truth. But that wasn't the case. Needle was used as a scapegoat, making him do all the dirty work. But if he genuinely didn't have a problem with me, he wouldn't have casted me as Shadow in his self-paced with lyrics. In the We Are Jolly Kirk group chat, nobody provided any proof of what they were accusing me of. Nobody showed interest in wanting to settle it privately and calmly. All everyone wanted to do in that group chat is rant without giving evidence and or not care for it. And nobody was giving me the chance to explain and breathe properly. These people, mainly Rio, has a past history of harassing people without remorse, while having a doc released on their actions. It doesn't matter whether you talk to the creator and poster of that Google Doc. It doesn't excuse how you go about things, Rio, and how people still don't like you because of it. And Rio, when my deleted doc came out about Kenny and my relationship, all you could have done was say, "I still want to cut ties. I did not like the doc," instead of letting me say my piece as an explanation to everything in proper wording, then blocking me. You, Rio, say to put it in perspective, but you just didn't care for actual context. You didn't want to read important things about the situation, you just left it on read. Whether you like the person or not, you have to listen to everyone involved, not just yourself. And for the others who were in that group chat, I hope to never talk with you again. You added nothing to this situation. You didn't even want to be in there in the first place. I do not know why you cared so much about it, as you were only talking to one another and sending gifts instead of taking it seriously. You weren't fed up. You were only there to just do nothing but watch. How this all spread is when Phoenix Stars sent Rio a conversation that he, one of my friends, and I had in my project server. I don't know why Phoenix decided to leak something from a project server when the entire point of a project server is for everything, if not serious, to be kept private. Phoenix, you did not need to name me and the friend in question to Rio. You could have just vented and or ranted to Rio about it, but instead what you did was take out of context screenshots of an opinion that I and the friend had with you and send them to Rio. Comfort person or not, you did not need to name anyone. You could have just scratched names out. You have constantly done this for years, initiating dramas, whether that be public or internal over miscommunications, or information that have little to no context to. Almost 90% of the information comes from you. Phoenix, you said to me when I allowed you back into this community that you would never do anything like this again, but you failed to fulfill that. You can have opinions, yes, but causing something big over a nothing burger like that is exactly how you were many years ago. Amy Sight Hazy, the only one who I'm apologizing to properly in this video. I did not know about your school situation. I only said what I said because that was information I was given roughly a year or so ago. I will not name many people who have told me the exact same thing I said, but I fondly remember the information Needle gave me was from Phoenix. However, you posted what you did with malice, and you could have shrugged it off. You and I both know that people in the community don't like you at all and your content. You did not need to get people you know to flood my comment section with the exact same thing that I did. I don't care whether you like me or not, but that was uncalled for and very unprofessional. Green Storm, I saw what you said about me not letting anything peacefully end. All I have to ask is, how can I do that when it keeps getting shoved down my throat? How can I stop when people are saying things about the situation and somehow I get brought up? I am clinically diagnosed with severe anxiety, so my body shuts down and my emotions spike, making me say things that I don't mean. So I'm sorry for not letting things end peacefully to you, but you have to understand, if it gets shoved down my throat and I'm involved, I feel the need, like I have to talk about it.
Needle, I have a lot to say about you. You were not fed up with me at all. You and I both know that you were the scapegoat of the We Are Jolly Kirk group chat. You and I both know that you wouldn't have done anything like what you did if you weren't friends with these people. You have believed people because you thought that they weren't lying, but they were. You entrusted people who fail to give actual evidence when it's needed because they are your friends and you didn't think they're bad people. You proved me right when you said I don't know why Kenny lied, and you don't know why you didn't listen to all sides. You brought up something that I said a while ago, and I am still apologetic to you to this day. I don't know why you said what you said, but I sent you and your girlfriend apologies about it, using my real name, and you responded to it. You and I were never going to be proper friends again after you posted that doc and after I said what I did and apologized for it. But it does not excuse the fact that I already apologized to you and your girlfriend profusely. Apologies doesn't automatically give forgiveness, it's a step to show that you have changed, and I did. I was working on myself, and you know that. I am not mad at you, I'm disappointed, and so are many other people you and I know. I'm willing to forgive you, but you have to show that you're actually sorry. What I learned from this is that I shouldn't care for what people need to say if they don't have the time to research everything. I shouldn't give time to people who ignore your side and automatically think you're this horrible person. What I learned is that people can turn on you the second you say something wrong or weird, even if they're your friend or not. The community I built from the ground up without any help is gone because of people who commit vile acts like this. I didn't want to get as popular as I was, and I will not be coming back to the internet in the near future, only talking to the friends I have left, that is it. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry for inflicting any harm on anyone. I'm sorry for my actions, and I'm sorry for making anyone uncomfortable with me. Everyone has done at least one thing in this situation, but it gets to a point that you have to stop it and stop caring. I have not liked children in a romantic or sexual way, and am only sexually and romantically attracted to people my age. I hope this clears everything up. I will not be coming back, and will be logging out. Editor Corey here. I forgot to mention how my OC was not meant to be sexualized, and or make me look like a big gooner. I am a gay man, I am not attracted to women like that. I asked the artist to draw her, so they did. Me thinking it was a good drawing, I set it as my PFP. There was supposed to be no sexualization to the drawing, and I'm sorry that I didn't communicate with the artist properly. I would also like to mention that everyone mentioned in this video should not get harassed and or talked to about it too. Blue has since told me that everyone had some stupidity. Blue is entirely apologetic for allowing it to get as bad as it did. I have lost so much in this situation that Blue caused that I cannot get back, but I don't want it back. People come and go, and online presences come and go as well. I'm sorry to those who had trust in me, and I lied to. Hopefully you can forgive me, and we all can move on from this. As I said, I'll be logging out of this channel. It was made to repost my videos before this one, but I can't find the motivation to post my old videos, so I have given all of them to someone else who will be rewriting some things and recasting them. If this isn't clear enough, I don't know what will be clear enough, but I won't care. Please do not go out of your way to say "Ew Corey supporter" to those who are my friends. They all think that everyone, including me, is stupid. Do not shun them out of whatever it may be, as they have little to no involvement in it.